The sun rises over the city skyline like a disk of fresh butter. It wakes to the sounds and smells of a winter morning. The milkman is one of the first to begin business for the day. For most of us in the city, the day begins with milk and butter. India is the world's largest producer of milk. It has the largest population of milch animals in the world. It is in the villages of India that most of the milk is produced. The past few decades have seen a flood of milk reaching most of the metropolis of the country in what is known as the White Revolution. The system of milk procurement consists of the following channels. Of these, Milk Production Cooperative is the most popular and efficient of all. In this film, we will see how good quality milk is produced and procured from the hinterlands of a vast country. The dusty winding roads of a village takes us to the home of Sonaram Yadav, chairman of Dhunsar Milk Cooperative Society, which is affiliated to Rajasthan Cooperative Dairy Federation, a three-tier structure. Sonaram is an owner of a number of milch animals. His home extends itself to include his animals. It is the women in his home who look after the well-being of the animals. That is how it is in most Indian rural households, where the cow and the buffalo are like members of the home and receive a lot of affection and care. To ensure a high quality of milk, it is essential that proper care is taken of the cattle. The health and housing of the animal, along with its feed, needs to be carefully monitored. The animal must be kept well protected from extremes of heat and cold. The cattle shed is kept clean and away from any source of infection. As far as the animal feed is concerned, it is of two types. One is the roughage and the other is the concentrate. The green fodder is grown in the fields near Sonaram's residence. The women cut the fodder and put it in for cutting in the shaft machine. This machine is hand operated. We also find power operated shaft cutters. Apart from green fodder, the animals are also fed with wheat bran and bajra kuti. This basic feed is supplemented for growth and more milk production with concentrates of cottonseed binola, oil cake, cereals and mineral mixtures. Pungent smelling items and other like bits of strings are removed. Water is added to the mixture. Hygiene and good food ensure a healthy life for the animals. But in case if the animal is infected with a disease, veterinary care is near hand. Before milching, the animal shed is cleaned. Leftover food, dung and urine is also removed. The women of the house then clean the utensils that are to be used for collecting milk. Before milching the animal, it must be bathed with clean water. The udder must be thoroughly cleaned and wiped with a soft cloth. While milching, the first few drops of milk should be rejected. Only then the animal must be fully milched. The person milching the animal needs to have proper hygiene, nails pruned, and he or she should have a covered head. The person should not be suffering from any infectious diseases. Sneezing and coughing while milching may lead to the contamination of milk. Sarf, an antiseptic spray, is then sprayed on the udder of the animals. This helps in the closing of the teat and prevents from infection and contamination. After milching, the milk has to be filtered into the container that is used to transport the milk. Once this is done, the milk is transported to the nearest collecting center. This camel cart has brought milk that has been collected from various sub-centers. Milk Collection Center is a basic unit of procurement of milk in organized sector. At this society, the process of collecting milk from various producers begins. The milk is to be collected in a can. This can is placed on a weighing machine that is connected to a computer. A trained personnel samples a little of the milk, about 20 ml, from the producer and performs the sensory or the organoleptic test. The smell of the milk, its taste, color, appearance and temperature is assessed. This gives a substantial idea regarding the quality of the milk and its freshness. Once the sample clears this test, it is put to milkotester to assess its fat and solid not fat quantity. The attached computer analyzes the recordings and produces the results in form of a slip. The slip records the weight of the milk, the fat and the SNF content of the milk that the producer has brought. It is on the basis of these readings that the value of milk is determined. Once the milk has been collected, the can is transported directly to the milk plant in a truck. It races through the village roads to reach the milk plant in the shortest possible time. Milk is collected from the collection centers twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. The Milk Collecting Society is an important hub in the village. It is the meeting point of the cooperative members, who are mostly women.
अगर कैंसर की वजह से निकाला चाहिए या कैंसर की वजह से गांठ निकाला चाहिए तो पैसा मिल जाएगा.
The individual accounts of the members are checked and tallied, and payments are made on weekly basis. There are different ways of making payments. These are pricing on fat content, pricing on species source, pricing on the basis of minimum fat percentage plus premium for fat, two-access pricing of milk, that is fat and SNF. The most appropriate is the access pricing of milk. This is generally followed at milk collection societies. In societies, meetings are held regularly. Difficulties and problems are discussed by the members and solutions are provided by experts. This is part of the promotional activities related to milk procurement.
मिनरल मिक्सचर की थैली है, इसमें कैल्शियम के अलावा और भी कई ऐसे तत्व हैं जिससे जानवर दूध तो बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा, उसकी हड्डियां मजबूत होगी.
One of Sonaram's animals needs to be inseminated. A veterinary doctor is called. He brings his equipment. Warm water is all that is required. Soon he is over with the job, and with pleasantries exchanged, he is off on his next call. Farmers like Sonaram are able to access the best of breeding facilities for their animals, which is a sure sign that rural scene is changing for the better.
अपनी दूध सहकारी समिति से किसानों ने एक तो दोनों टाइम को दूध मन खरीद बाट में देवा की जरूरत कौन पड़े दूध ठेकेदार ने पहले तो यो काम से फिर अच्छा दाम मिल जाए अच्छे भाव में तो हमारा दूध बिकता है समय पे पेमेंट मिलता है और सर ये बांट की सुविधा है और करप्रदान ये गायों का और भैंसों का इलाज भी होता है हमारे यहाँ हरा चारे का बीज मिलता है और 10 दिन के अंदर ही पेमेंट तुरंत मिलता है.
The cooperatives help the farmers by supplying mineral mix and fodder seeds. An insurance and saving scheme is also provided to the members. The fact that a large number of women are members is a sure sign of change that is taking place slowly and silently. The truck loaded with milk reaches the milk plant. The plant is scientifically designed. Cleanliness and hygiene are top priority. Here cans are loaded on a conveyor belt. Caps are opened. Physical testing of the milk is done by an expert. Cans are then emptied and sent for washing. Washing of the cans is done rigorously with water and steam for further collection of milk. To determine the quality of milk procured, samples are sent to the laboratory for various chemical and microbiological tests. Of the many constituents present in milk, fat is a major component. Milk fat is used to make butter and ghee. Fat also provides a rich flavor to the milk. To measure the fat content of milk, the Gerber test is done. For this test, 10 ml of Gerber sulfuric acid is transferred into the butyrometer. Then, 10.75 ml of warm milk is added. Further, 1 ml of amyl alcohol is added. The butyrometer is then heated to about 65 degrees centigrade in warm water. It is then transferred to a centrifugal machine. This graduated butyrometer provides a reading of the fat in the milk. To assess the solid not fat or SNF in the milk, the lactometer test is done. Milk is first heated and then cooled. It is poured into a cylinder till it is full. The lactometer is placed in the milk and it floats freely. A reading of the graduation is done. The simple clot on boiling test or the COB is done on the sample. This is to see if the milk can withstand heating. A sample is heated on a burner and on boiling, it is poured into a petri dish. What we observe? Milk with lactic acid levels higher than 0.18% coagulates, whereas milk with lesser acidity remains the same. A milk testing kit is also devised for quick testing of adulterates in the milk. The test results are color-coded to find out if there is any adulteration, so it is not difficult for the layman to test the quality of the milk. The level of total acidity is determined using phenolphthalein indicator and titration against standard solution NaOH. After mixing the milk sample, take 10 ml milk in a beaker, add 1 ml phenolphthalein indicator, titrate the sample with NaOH solution, adding drop by drop from the burette, slowly mixing, and see the color changes to pink-red. The methylene blue reduction MBR test and standard plate count SPC test are carried out to judge the microbiological quality of milk. In MBR test, methylene blue solution is used to indicate the rate of oxygen consumption by microorganism. More the number of microorganism, faster the change in color from blue to colorless. Sterile all the equipments before use. Take 10 ml of milk in test tube, add 1 ml of methylene blue solution and mix it. Keep in incubator at around 37 degrees centigrade and observe the time of change in color of milk. For standard plate count SPC test, take milk in dilution of 10 and plate it on media agar. Keep in incubator for 24 hours and count the colony of the microorganism. Less the number of colony, better the quality of milk. The testing of milk is very important at the plant. A complete record is kept according to the trucks that deliver the milk. The records help in determining the quality of milk that is being procured area-wise. The demand for milk has grown by leaps and bounds. People enjoy drinking milk and milk products like ice cream, butter, cheese and curd. There is always a need to procure high-quality milk on a continuous basis. But at the same time, it needs to be ensured that the economic benefits reach out to all, from the process of procurement to consumption.